Hello beautiful, welcome back to Nat's Beautiful Life. Today I'm going to be doing a February wrap up for you. I know February is not quite over, but I'm pretty confident that I can show you what I'll be finishing the month out with. But I actually have finished 8 books. I finished 8 books this month because I did not write down 2. Alright, we're gonna get going. I'm kind of a disaster right now. I'm trying very hard to get it together. It has nothing to do with my health. I'm just really tired and I don't know, my hair is so big and my face has been breaking out and it's just a mess. So whatever, we are gonna do it. And I've been reading some really great things this month, so I'm excited to share them with you. So the first book that I read this month was When Dibble Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon. I had been doing so much fantasy and so much sci-fi and things like that I just kind of was doing that palette cleanse where I did kind of simple YA love story type things. And this one is about Dibble and Rishi. Rishi is more traditional Indian and wants to be set up and have a arranged marriage and all that, and Dibble kind of rejects all of that, and her parents kind of like do some shady stuff to try to put her together with this guy. She figures it out, but it's funny. It's a good little cute story, love story. I have some issues with some things, but it was cute. I got it from Book Outlet. That's why it's got like stickers and stuff all over it. I think I paid, it says $15, not $28. I actually bought it for like $3 or $5, but cute, just kind of run-of-the-mill YA book. The next book, I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. It was a DNF, have it up here. The Kiss Quotient by, is it Helen Huang or something like that? I didn't like that book at all. I got to 77 pages and was done. There were so many issues with this book that, yeah, I was getting angry. Anyway, it was the book club book of the month, so that's the only reason why I picked it up, and I hated it. So I DNF'd it, but there's that. Then we move on to a new favorite. This is probably one of my new favorites of all time. This is A Heart and a Body in the World by Deb Coletti. This book is so good. The girl has PTSD, and you don't know what happened exactly until the end of the book, but you're okay with it. And I really enjoyed it. So she kind of just snaps one day when something else kind of happens, and she just starts running. And she decides that she's going to run from Seattle, where she lives, all the way to Washington, D.C. And her grandfather follows her in his, like his Winnebago or whatever. His, this little, you know what I'm talking about, right? The Winnebago thing. Yeah. And it's darling. I love it. I love this so much. And I love stories about, like, people hiking through the woods, people doing these hard runs. I love those type of stories. And so the relationship between her and her father and her friends and her brother and all of that, and everybody rooting for her and her still having these issues because of what happened, and it's just so good. I cannot recommend this enough. Go get you some. I loved it. Moving on. The next book I read, I don't have with me because I actually lent it to a friend, but it's called The Blackbird Season by, who are you by? Kate Moretti. This book was sold to me by, oh crap, I'll put her channel on the screen here. But I was so sold on this book just by her. She hadn't even read it yet. She was just describing it, and I was like, that sounds like something that I want to read. So all these birds fall from the sky one day, and then, like, something else happens where this girl goes missing, and it's just like a small town that now has, like, some sort of something to latch onto, and the person who's accused of it is a teacher, and all of this stuff. I have a review on Goodreads about it. If I think about it, I will link it down below. I enjoyed the book. It's not a bad book, but there was like, at the end, I was like, why? Why? Like, I had issues. And the one thing is, the wife, the accused person, Nate, his wife, infuriates me so much that I can't hardly stand it. But, yeah. But the book itself, it was a good, and here's the thing, it was a very good story, very good concept, very good plot. I don't think the execution was so great. I feel like if she'd have done it, and I explained this in my video, because she goes back and forth, and she doesn't really say chronologically where it's like before and after. It's like, you really have to pay attention to the date and know, like, when is this? So, yeah, there's that one. I do recommend it. I think it's good. If you like mysteries, you'll like it a lot. But there was just something that irked me about it. But like I said, I do recommend it and I enjoyed it. But check out my review for more information. Then I went ahead and did a nonfiction book called The Four Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin. I love this book. I was recommended this by Michelle B, who is here on YouTube, and it helped her understand and how to make herself do things that she wants to do. And it talks about how we have four tendencies, and it's not really your personality type, it's how we respond to expectations. And this one really opened my eyes to things that I could see, and I was not who I thought I was, because there's like a test you can take, and then I was like, I bet my husband is this, and I had him take the test because it's really short, and he was exactly what I thought he was. And it was like, oh yeah, so it just helps you understand things better, and it helps you understand why you do what you do or don't do what you want to do, or things like that. So this is a very good book. It's short and sweet and to the point, and I like books like that, so I do recommend it. The next book I did was okay, so I did a couple of audiobooks this month. The first one was The Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton. I will never do another audiobook by Michael Crichton ever again, because if you've ever read Michael Crichton, and I hadn't actually read any of his works before, he is the driest, most technical writer ever, and the story was good. I did enjoy the book. There's more information than there is like dialogue or interaction with people or action things happening. It's more explaining of science and things like that. But yeah, it was good. I did enjoy it, but I will never do another audiobook of his. I will just read, if I ever read anything by him again, because oh my word, yeah. But it's a good book. What it is some strain of bacteria or whatever comes down from space on top of one of their like probes, and it kills everybody in the town that comes into contact with it, and then they have to figure out how to either cure it or you kill it or whatever. So there you go. There's a whole thing, but there's so much like detailed scientific stuff they explain, which I normally don't mind, but when I say there's so much, it's more than the story. It's just like, whoa. Yeah. So the next audiobook I read, which I just actually finished not too long ago, and I'm sorry, my voice, it's still from the intubation when I had my surgery last month. It's still not back. But anyway, the other book was Into the Wild by this person. Can't remember his name, but I really enjoyed this. What this is, it's a guy who traveled a lot on his own, kind of like a vagabond, but he didn't have to be. He chose, and I think a lot of people do choose that lifestyle. Some people don't. They just that's what they live and all they know. But some people choose it. This guy came from a very wealthy family. He was not poor. He was very educated, very articulate, very, like I said, intelligent. And he just decided to live a vagabond lifestyle. And so for about 2 years, especially straight, he did this. And then one day he decides he wants to go into the Alaskan wilderness, the Alaskan bush, and hang out there for a while and live off the land. But in his doing that, he made 2 very small fatal mistakes, and he actually died out there. So our author has gone and done some research. So he met it with people who met him along the way, kind of backtracked his life for those 2 years, and then helped with the discovery, or figured out the discovery of what happened, why he died. He actually starved to death out there, even though he was killing game and like he knew what he was doing out there. He was not stupid. And so a lot of people, just hearing it off the top of their head, just kind of like, oh, this guy was an idiot just walking down there unprepared. He was not unprepared. It's just he made a grave mistake. And then so I'll let you read the book or listen to the book. I thought the audiobook was very well done. I did enjoy the audiobook. And I think there's a Netflix series now, but I don't know if it's like dramatized. I think that's what it is, instead of like a documentary. So I don't know what do you think about that, because I haven't watched it, but I do know Into the Wild, the book, is good, and I did enjoy the audiobook. Moving on. Next book we have is, here we go, another sweet one, Love and Luck by Jenna Evans Welch. Once again, not a perfect book. It's a YA contemporary. The main character is very impulsive and abrupt in her emotions and her reactions, and I think that causes an issue for her more than anything. But it was an enjoyable read because I liked seeing them go to the different places and all that. I did write a Goodreads review, but it's not there anymore. I don't know what happened, but whatever. I did, like I said, I did enjoy it. It's cute. You just kind of find yourself like telling the girl in your mind, like, chill, relax, sit down. It's not the end of the world, and she freaks out over nothing. And that's her problem throughout the book, and yeah, whatever. But yeah, something terrible did happen to her. I mean, it's not the end of the world terrible, but really embarrassing, especially if you're in your high school. And so I get it. I totally get it. But then you see her actually even grow closer to her brother, who is also there. And I liked seeing them travel around Ireland. And they are following this guidebook called Ireland. Let's see. An Unconventional Guide to the Emerald Isle, 3rd edition, Ireland for the Heartbroken. And it's so cute. I love the little homework that the guidebook lady has them do. And I was like, these are pretty genius. So I do recommend it. I think it's cute. It's a YA contemporary. That's all I've got written down, but I know there's more. The next book I read, I've been wanting to read these for so long. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. So this is the number 1 in the Grishaverse. So I have the whole trilogy. So there's the other 2. And my idea was to just binge through all 3 of them, but then I had some books that I was on hold for at the library that are like ones that I was like, it's a really long list, and so I got them, so I'm like, okay, I'll read those before I go to this. But I really like this. Six of Crows is also in this universe, and Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, which is a duology in this universe, are 2 of my favorites. Crooked Kingdom is probably one of my favorite books. So I was intrigued to go where it all started, and I was not disappointed. This one seemed like more of a setup, and I feel like the next 2 books are where we're really gonna just explode into this this story, into this world, into this political climate and things like that. So I'm so looking forward to those. So probably in March, when I'm done with these, I'll pick those up again, but really did enjoy this one. What else do I have? Okay, so the 2 that I have not finished yet, but I believe that I will before the end of the month, is this one. I've got The Vanishing Star by Maureen Johnson. Now this is the follow-up to Truly Devious, also by Maureen Johnson. And I enjoy Truly Devious. I did it as an audiobook. I'm doing this one as a physical book, obviously. Everybody was blown away by Truly Devious. I was not blown away by it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was like earth-shattering, life-changing. But I heard that this one is even better, and so far I feel like that air of mystery is set up to be even better here. And I feel like we're going to find out a lot more, and it delves more into students that were in the 30s as well as present day. So if you don't know what Truly Devious is, because this is the sequel, this really big Rockefeller rich guy named Albert Ellingham or something. He started a school that in a remote location, and it is where people who are kids who are very gifted and talented in certain things can go for free and study their like chosen field or whatever. And so our main character Stevie goes there to study crime. She wants to be an FBI agent. She's into true crime. She wants to help solve the 1930s mystery because when the guy opened this up in the 1930s, his wife and daughter were kidnapped, and another student was murdered, and no one's ever solved the case. So she wants to solve it in present day, and that's one of her like projects. So while they're there, someone else is murdered or dies, and they're not sure if it's a murder or an accident. But this kind of picks up there or after that. So far I'm enjoying that. I really like it. Next book. So excited. I wanted this for so long, but the wait on the library was so long. So I got this. It's Made, Hard Work, Low Pay, and a Mother's Will to Survive by Stephanie Land. It is a memoir of Stephanie Land. And this is about this gal, let's see here. What exactly? When she was 28, she was going to attend a university and become a writer. She got an unplanned pregnancy, so she turned to housekeeping to make ends meet, and it's about just her noticing of how people look at the maid and things like that. It just looks really, really interesting. And I also got the audiobook on Kobo, I think. So I probably will be listening that as I travel tomorrow. But I got the physical book as well. A lot of times audiobooks, they don't sync up their chapters and stuff with the book. This one does. So I will be able to go back and forth if I want to read or if I want to listen, whatever I want to do. So I love that. But I'm really looking forward to this. I love memoirs, especially stuff that you don't really think about, or something that's, something that's, I feel like in our country, there's not just a divide between black and white and all of that stuff. I feel like it's a big divide between rich and poor. And I feel like this really is going to highlight that in ways that most people don't think about, and I think that's important to see. So those are the books that I have read, am currently reading, or plan to read before Thursday the 28th. Is that right? Yes. And because today is the 25th, so I think I can do it. If not, we'll get it done in March. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you next time right here on Nat's Beautiful Life. Have a great day, gorgeous.